The clink of crystal glasses, the rustle of satin gowns, and the murmur of the elite. Everything about the gala screamed luxury. Yet, in the shadows of the ballroom, hidden from all eyes, a lone woman washed dishes. Her hands trembled, not from the soapy water, but from the weight of the secret she carried. The world had no idea who she truly was. The camera lingers on her face, the faintest hint of a tear threatening to fall. She stares at the glittering event ahead, but she is not part of it. She never was, till now. The night sparkles with wealth. The ballroom is drenched in golden light, a world of opulence. Men in tuxedos, women adorned in jewels, a sea of laughter and splendor. But in the hidden corners of the mansion, there is a different story. The camera shifts to a woman in a simple, modest dress. Her blonde hair is tucked beneath a cap, her eyes downcast as she washes dishes in silence. Her hands move mechanically, yet there's a sense of hidden strength behind them. For a fleeting moment, she looks at the guests, a feeling of loss creeping in. She was just a volunteer when she met him, the billionaire who swept her into his world. Clue. And now she's here, unseen, out of place. No one knows the truth, not the guests, not the servers. But tonight, that would change. The music swells in the ballroom, but the woman's world remains cold and quiet. The only sound is the rhythmic scrubbing of dishes. She's alone in the kitchen, her only company the dirty plates she's forced to clean. But her thoughts are elsewhere, back to when everything changed. A flashback, the first time she met him. The man in a tailored suit who took one look at her and saw more than just a volunteer. There was something about him, something that drew her in. She didn't belong in his world. But he took her by the hand anyway, promising her a life she never dreamed of, a life she thought she wanted. Until now, the tension grows as she steals another glance at the gala. Laughter fills the air, and for a split second, she feels the sting of isolation. No one knows who she really is. No one knows that she's not just some hired help. Her billionaire husband owns this mansion, this gala, this life, and yet she's here in the shadows, washing dishes like she's invisible. The kitchen door slams open. A voice cuts through the silence like a knife. Get those dishes cleaned. Up, the guests are waiting. She doesn't flinch. She's heard it all before. But today, the words sting a little harder. Her hands are sore, her fingers raw, but she continues to work. She has no choice. The rich woman's tone echoes in her ears. You're just a nobody. A flash of anger flickers behind her eyes. She's been through so much to get here. To stand in this mansion, to wear the ring on her finger. She's been through heartache, sacrifice, and endless nights of loneliness. Yet here she is, invisible once more. But then a figure enters the kitchen, interrupting her thoughts. It's her husband, her billionaire husband. He steps into the room, his presence powerful and commanding. She doesn't expect him to notice. Her. Not amidst all the glittering faces, but he does. And for the first time tonight, her heart skips a beat. His eyes lock with hers, and there's a moment of unspoken understanding between them. But before she can react, he's pulled away, lost in the chaos of the gala. The night stretches on. The voices in the ballroom fade into the background, and the woman continues to wash dishes. But then everything changes. The same woman who had mocked her earlier returns, her eyes cold and judgmental. She sneers. Are you still doing here? This is a place for people like us, not ... you. Before the woman can continue, her husband's voice cuts through the air. That's enough. The entire room freezes. Her husband steps forward, his eyes never leaving the woman at the sink. She's my wife, he says, his voice calm but firm. A wave of silence washes over the room. The wealthy guests exchange glances, disbelief spreading across their faces. The woman, the servant they all assumed was invisible, is actually the woman who owns it all. The room stands still, the weight of the revelation sinking in. The guests are in shock. The once dismissed woman now holds the power of the room in her hands. But the wealthy woman who had humiliated her earlier is not done. She steps forward again, her tone dripping with disdain. You can't belong here. You should be serving, not participating. But this time, the blonde woman doesn't hold back. You think I don't belong? You think I'm just a servant? You have no idea who I am or who I've become. Her husband steps up beside her, his arm around her waist, his eyes fierce with determination. She belongs here. And this gala, it's hers too. The crowd watches in stunned silence. The blonde woman takes a deep breath, the years of hurt and rejection pouring into her words. I'm not just his wife. I'm a woman who has worked hard, who's fought for every piece of this life. And you know nothing about that? The camera focuses on the blonde woman's face. It's calm, yet there's a fire behind her. Eyes that no one can deny. As the room remains silent, her husband stands beside her, his gaze proud, loving, but fierce. For the first time in her life, she feels seen. Not as the woman who scrubs dishes in the shadows, but as the woman who holds the key to it all. She is more than just the billionaire's wife. She is his equal. She is her own person, and tonight, the world will know it as the camera pulls away. The mansion, the gala, the guests all fade into the background. The woman, now free from the weight of her past, stands tall. She has everything now, and yet, she has never felt more powerful. The gala might have started as a moment of humiliation, but it ends as her triumph. The screen fades to black. The words echoing in silence. She didn't just wash dishes. She washed away her past.